We got a special delivery. A few special deliveries. $10K month. 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 $10K. $10K month. $10K month. I got some bigger ones here for you. $20K month. $20K month. I think some are missing. Found them. $20K month. $30K month. And I have 3 10Ks that already came in. We already talked about these. These are trophies for people. Some of these guys already have trophies, but we backdated them for the people who are coming to our event. These are trophies of people who have been inside the cereal sales community and have hit milestones for 10K, 20K, and 30K months. Now, these are only for people who have not already got the trophies. So some of these guys have already gotten some trophies. One of these guys already has a 30K trophy. One of them already has a 20K. There would be one more, but the guy had to sell his ticket, so we just sent it to his house. But these are all people who are coming to our event, which by the way is open to the public. Like, it's not just our community, and have hit these milestones in remote 1099 sales roles through us. I don't order trophies for fun. These are real results. So do you want to win or do you want to lose? If you're coming to our meetup, you hit one of these milestones, save some room in your suitcase. You thought we were done opening boxes, but that's untrue. First of all, this is like $2,500 worth of items. And I know I kept you guys waiting for a long time, and I apologize, but we're back and we're better. Sheesh. This is part of what we send people when they join our community, if we have them. We haven't had them for a little bit. And we're also going to have them at our meetup. So we have a lot of them, as you can see. And if you're coming to Austin in a couple of weeks, by the time this comes out, I think it's the next week, we'll be having these available for you guys. They're not going to be free. Sorry. This month, we're giving away an Ember mug with custom name on it. So all you got to do is post wins in our community. Last month, we gave away a Whoop and a 12-month subscription to that. Join the community. You win. You post the wins. You have the chance to win more. Like Chris, who had his first 4-figure day. David, who landed a closer roll in less than a week. Natalie, who landed a closer roll. Noah, who made $2,000 before Saturday football. Follow me. If you don't have a wagon, so convenient. We're getting something from the frunk. I hate calling it a frunk. Frunk in the front. 2 months no car. Now we got a car next to the friend. I have no idea who owns that car. It's been a little irresponsible that I haven't taken these out yet because it's like $20,000 worth of stuff in here. Oh. Original brakes for this car. These are carbon ceramic brakes. I love them because they leave no brake dust on your wheels. I haven't had to clean the wheels in a long time. You know, brake dust is kind of annoying. The front rotors, carbon ceramics on this car, are going at $16,000 right now. Just the front ones. Together, I don't know what they cost. And a lot of people with these cars, what they'll do is they'll take off these carbon ceramics and hold them because you could just put steel brakes on. And then when they're about to sell the vehicle, they pop these back on because if these go out, not only are they hard to find, I thought they were like $15,000 total. The guy who replaced these said the front ones are going for $16,000. I'm not Jeff Bezos or anything. I don't want to deal with that. If you're new here and you're a car person, this is the car that I have. The old owner made this for car shows. I just leave this in here. Let's walk and talk. I've been meaning to make a video talking about do I regret buying an expensive car. Not only is the car expensive, but like I've had to put a lot of money into it because it's old on just like little stuff. I just have like a backlog of videos right now. Like the one that came out right before this with Robbie, who made $12,000 as an appointment setter. without a sales background in his first job. Go watch that one. I'll link it at the end of this. Oh, today, it's actually a big milestone. Today, we just hit 50 one-on-one interviews in our community member interview playlist. I think it's over 14 hours of me, one other person, very, very minimal editing, honest conversation about the process these people went through to hit significant milestones in the 1099 setting, closing, management space, the remote sales space. In those interviews, I intentionally do not make it like, oh, tell us how awesome the community is, or, tell us how we changed your life, like super just like one-sided. My objective in those is to paint like a legitimate picture of what the entire process looks like, where we helped out if we did, but just how people went from doing one thing to doing this new thing that if you're watching this, you might want to do. The good, the bad, the ugly, it's all in there. So go watch that playlist. That will be linked at the end as well. Now that we're back, it's time for the evening wind down. You already know what it is, man. It's Saturday. We had 2 people booked to discuss joining our community, and both of them joined. Shout out to you, Marissa. You're gonna crush it, so I've heard. And Tyler. Shout out to y'all. Hyped to get to work. I want to film a video on why high ticket sales is not a good career path. Now, I do believe high ticket sales is a good opportunity to earn money, gain freedom, and create the life that you want. However, when most people think of a career, they think of stability, long tenure in a company, and things that are not so much synonymous with high ticket sales. Please help me make the argument that while high ticket sales is not a good career, it is still a good opportunity for those who are looking for what it offers. Now I want you to think of the 10 criteria that people will look at when assessing a career opportunity. And I want you to list those out compared to high ticket sales in the way that I just described it, and keep it as short as possible. Y'all heard it here first. You probably clicked on this video. You might not know who I am. My name's Dylan. I'm in the high ticket sales space. But you probably clicked on this because you're like, hey, I've heard of this high ticket sales thing. Is it legit? Is it not? Should I do it? And I don't know, maybe you're already doing it and you're just like curious to hear what I have to say. While some people might argue otherwise, that's always the case, I'm gonna argue it this way because this is the way that I feel is true to myself and makes me sleep well at night. I see a lot of people do a lot of things in the high ticket sales space and I'm like, that doesn't feel right. So I want to make the case to you in this video on why high ticket sales is not a good career choice. I want to be very particular with my words because I think it's a good opportunity, but when you think of a traditional career, I asked ChatGPT, like, when someone's assessing a career opportunity, what are the top 10 criteria that they're usually looking at? I'm not so much talking about a specific job in high ticket sales as I am talking about like the field itself. ChatGPT said when people are assessing career criteria, they're looking at stability, longevity, growth path, benefits, security, professional development, predictability, reputation status, wealth building, and freedom. And there's definitely a lot of overlap here. So my thesis here, although high ticket sales is likely not the best career opportunity for a lot of you guys watching, it is not something to ignore. I don't know how old you are. I don't know what your life looks like. Most of my audience is male, early, mid, late 20s. You might not be looking for something to do for 20 years. You might be looking for something to do for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 6 months. I don't know. It depends how you rank these criteria as well. If on your criteria, the number one thing that you want to make a decision by is, if I go down this path, where am I in 20 years? And honestly, like, if you really want to make the case, like the high ticket sales path, you go down it for 20 years, you probably end up as a business owner. That's not a bad path, but we just have to know that the overall success rate in the high ticket sales industry, given that it's heavily commission based, just like solar, insurance, whatever, it's pretty low. Just like any super competitive sales job, not everybody wins. If you're just like, I want to go somewhere that even on the darkest days, I am like cozy and, no worries, whatever, high ticket sales, like probably not for you. But let me dive into some of these criteria. So the number one thing is stability, right? If you're just looking for that smooth, stable job, let's say 60K a year with benefits, high ticket sales not for you. Okay, you can make more than 60, you can make less than 60. Your pay is based on performance, right? And if you're not performing or you're taking time off, you're not getting paid. You're not building up, paid time off. It's not really a thing as a contractor. So if stability is like top criteria, probably go do something that's just like not even sales altogether. Now there is a sense of stability if you can like consistently earn high income and then like kind of plan for the down months. Some of the people that I know in this industry, they do like 10, 20K a month, but then maybe 9 months later, they're like out a gig for 2 weeks and they have nothing, right? And so if you can properly plan, it can be good. Like it's kind of like a game of sprints, right? It's like good offer, good lead flow, get as much out of it as you can. The next thing is longevity. I actually love talking about this. Within these specific opportunities, longevity compared to a normal role is it's just a lot shorter. It is really common for people in the first year to jump around. And why I think that is because the job that you're qualified for when you first get into this industry is not the job that you're qualified for after 6 months in the industry. A lot of people, despite maybe you having sales experience or relevant experience, they don't want to be the one that takes the bet on you to teach you high ticket sales, because not only do they have to teach you their business, they have to teach you high ticket sales. And as a cash flowing business, they actually lose money when they have to train you longer and take that bet on you. And it might not even work out. So longevity, it definitely does come down to like the network and how well you can do and if you're in any groups. But I know people that have been on the same offer for 6 years making 20K plus per month. So it's there. I know people that have been on the same offer for a year, 2 years. In the corporate space, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? Like you work a little bit, you become someone who you weren't in a good way, and then you're qualified for something better. And you take that opportunity. I will point out too, like being in this 1099 contracted sales spot, you're not really in charge of much. And so if lead flow dies, if marketing slows down, if they hire too many people, like that will affect how many calls you get, how many close, and how much money you make. And so you just need to go into it knowing that. The next thing is the growth path. And I think high ticket sales, if you've always kind of been like a little bit of do it myself, outlaw type, not saying you're bad with having a boss, but you know that like you want to take the shot. High ticket sales is a really good way to just get a paid internship on what it takes to run a online business. Okay, so if you're interested in like running a fitness coaching program, but you're not quite ready, you don't know how to market in social media and sell and fulfill, well, just sell for one of them. So I think like I'm an example of this, right? I was in sales. I always had that itch for entrepreneurship and I did really good in sales, and slowly I started adding things. So I went from roofing sales into high ticket sales into doing just like one-off B2B contracting, a little recruiting, a little consulting. Then I started my community. And so I was just stacking things on top of the ability to sell. And so if you are entrepreneurial, you're a risk taker, high ticket sales, in my opinion, is a very considerable option. I love the 1099 status too. Again, that's like another level of risk that some of you guys are gonna love, some of you guys are not gonna love. My job is just to make you aware of the truth. Okay, I'm not telling you which way is better because that's dependent on you, what you want, what you have, what you can risk. I just want to lay out the facts. Benefits. So some of you guys might be thinking, I have this medicine, I have these bills, like I have a family. Those are all legit reasons why you need benefits, right? This is one thing where I think young guys or just young people in general without many dependents do have a leg up here. You can play a little bit more offense. Now, I personally use this thing called crowdhealth.org, I think. It's kind of like a crowdfunding health share plan. I do have an affiliate link. I'll put it down below. I have used it on hospital bills and really helped cut down expenses. Just like normal things that people would get like need benefits for. Really, really good and affordable. So if the main reason you're not jumping into like a remote 1099 sales role is benefits, obviously do your due diligence. I'm not here to make a decision for you, but I've been in 1099 land or business owner land for, I don't know, maybe like 4 years now. And I've had incidents and I had this plan and it worked. That's just my personal experience. But I don't have kids. Luckily, I don't have like ongoing health problems. I don't have prescriptions. Do your own research, obviously. Security. So what's going to scare them away from this industry is security. Like, oh, you know, I see people jump around. It's a big company. I'm safe. And like, that's valid. Now, the thing is, depending on what kind of company you're working for, if you're already in like door-to-door solar sales, like they don't really fire people because like they don't lose anything by you doing that for them. They can only gain, right? But if you are in like a tech sales job or some job that you went to school for, worked really hard, there is a sense of security for sure. At the same time, random example, Salesforce laid off 40% of their staff for AI. So while there is this like feeling of security, you genuinely never know what can happen depending on the company that you're in. I always just say, man, like the best people in the marketplace will find work. If you don't see yourself as like a semi-competitive person, like this space just altogether probably isn't for you, because we're talking about the sales role itself, landing the role, being good at the role, taking the bet on yourself, and like I feel like you just have to be kind of wired a little bit crazy to do all that. Professional development. So this isn't going to be like as relevant in high ticket sales, I'll just be honest with you. I think the rate at which you can excel your resume and your earnings in high ticket sales is much faster than the corporate space. You know, if you're in tech sales, I keep going to tech sales because we have a lot of people that go to and from. Like, dude, a lot of these companies won't even look at you to be an account executive unless you have like 12 months of SDR experience. And in that 12 months, you're making, I don't know, let's say 60K, 80K, whatever. It might be more, right? In the high ticket space, like if you are a killer, like you can just go straight to closing. And you can just go straight to a 10K per month role. Obviously not an average result, right? It really is extremely performance based. And if you can perform or just sell the idea that you can perform, I feel like you can unlock a higher tier of income faster. With that comes volatility, right? It's just natural. But again, if you are a competitor and you just feel like you need the stage to compete, not a bad idea for you. Another one we have here is like reputation/status. And this is a tough one, because when you go to Thanksgiving dinner and your family is asking you what you do, they're not going to understand it. Your friends are not going to understand it. They're going to think you're in an MLM, a pyramid scheme. I just started deducing it down to, yeah, I mean, I work a remote sales job. Now, like with my community, I help people get remote sales jobs. With the agency, is like I run sales teams. There's a lot of merit in saying like, oh, I work for this big company, but you know, we talk to a lot of those people in these big companies and they're just like, this sucks, I want out. And so, you know, at Thanksgiving dinner, at Christmas, it might be kind of a hard discussion to navigate. Your LinkedIn might not look as pretty as a 1099 contracted sales rep, but pros and cons to everything. And then wealth building. So this, for me personally, is one of the main reasons that I got into the 1099 space. Aside from just boosting my income, it is like what you can do with that boosted income. There are so many tax benefits that you can take advantage of in the 1099 sales space that just put you light years ahead. You're very limited as a W-2 employee in what you can do to like write things off, to save on taxes. And this is why you see a lot of door-to-door guys, solar, pest. They do like a summer, they recruit people, they buy real estate. Another summer, they buy 2 more doors. Then they have 4 doors. Then they have 10 doors. Then they buy a hotel and they just like build wealth. What you're able to do in 1099, this video isn't about taxes, but like in some instances, like you can completely offset your tax bill depending on how much money you're making and what you're investing into. And I know, speaking firsthand, like as a 1099 contractor, I was pacing 180K in the year W-2 before I got into this space. So I know both sides. But as a contractor, even as like business owner, which is like contractor status kind of, I've just been able to keep more, which allows things to compound faster. And you only need to do that for so long before you're good. And the last thing, very important to me and hopefully important to you, is just freedom. Freedom to make decisions, to do things your way. As a contractor, legally, they cannot tell you how you have to do the job as long as you get the job done. Now that's like kind of a gray area because you want to follow their rules, you want to do it their way, so they like you, so they keep you. Not going to get into that. But the freedom to decide where you work from, the freedom to decide when you work, how you work. And you have that in a normal sales job, to be honest. Like I had that, as long as your numbers are good and you're doing what you need to. But like, if I want to batch my day to where I take 3 calls in the morning, go to the gym at 11 a.m., eat lunch, and then take more calls in the afternoon, like you could do that as a contractor. I also like the fact that in a lot of these opportunities, you know, you can work evenings and weekends. And that's why sometimes it makes it easy to like overlap one job with a high ticket job. setting, closing, sometimes management in that case. So overall, I think sales gives you a level of freedom, but the high ticket stuff gives you just a little notch above like a W-2 sales role. And those are the top things that ChatGPT generated for me in terms of what people look for when assessing a career. To summarize this, there's good, there's ugly. I think you can find that in any opportunity that exists anywhere. I'm not here telling you that high ticket sales is the best option for you. When you come into this industry, you should be well aware that it's competitive. You should be well aware that if you don't make it, that could equate to zero because you are commission only. There's people out there that make it seem like everybody wins. It is not the case. Not everybody wins. I know a lot of losers. And in my community and just like my network, the people who do the best at every step of the process, they're just increasing percentages of likelihood that X event happens, which triggers this event, which then leads to this. Now, I think what a lot of people have flawed, and not to get fully into another whole video subject here, but a lot of people focus on sales training. And sales training is good. There's a time and a place for it, but sales training doesn't get you hired. And in this wild, wild west world of online remote sales jobs, that is the challenge that crushes a lot of people. And just having access to job opportunities is not enough because the competition is fierce. Okay, so it's like you need to have access, and you need to know how to actually like make a dent in the application pool, like how to get noticed and how to ultimately be the one that they choose. So not to fully get into that topic. Anyways, that's what we focus on in my community, how to go from where you're at, your unique situation, which I, like everyone that comes in, we make this one-on-one plan based on who counts on you. How much runway do you have? How much time do you have? How much do you need to make? How much do you want to make? What sales experience do you have? Where are you based? Do you speak any languages? So like all of these things considered, we come with a custom plan with like a plan B and a plan C. So that way, when you do spend your time going out and applying, you're not applying to stuff where you're just immediately written off because out of 30 other applicants, you're not even like in the ballpark. Like that's just a waste of time. It's kind of delusional. You understand exactly where you should go, why that is. We work with you guys on resumes, Loom videos, and just like repositioning of your past experience to be as relevant as possible. We have some like AI tools that help with this. You know where, you know why, you know how. And then it's just data, it's tracking. We track every single job application. I'm a geek when it comes, I'm a numbers guy. With the application funnel, we break it up into all these different parts. We're increasing the throughput top to bottom because if you can 3X the top of the funnel, what you get out in terms of job offers is 3X with so much less work. Like a lot of people, we're looking at the funnel, they focus on sales training. Sales training is all the way down here. It's like down. Sales training does not get you hired. We do. Quick summary. High ticket sales by the standard definition of a good career, it's not that. And that's okay. A lot of you guys probably tried e-commerce. Did you get into e-commerce because it was a good career? No. Did you get into copywriting because it was a good career? No. Do you create content because it's a good career? No. You do these things because there's opportunity with potential outsized returns. And I feel like my job is to just highlight that. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in, watching this all the way through. High ticket sales is not for everyone. I think anybody who tells you it is, it's a little disheartening in my opinion. It's great for the people that it's great for. It's awful for the people that it's awful for. There are things that are probably unique to you that would make you predispositioned to do better at this. There are things that you can work on that if you hyper-focused on could make you more likely to have success here, but this is not for everybody. Honestly, like all of my channel and all of my content is about, you'll notice a lot of my YouTube videos, they're titled things like the ugly side of high ticket sales. Watch out for this. Why you shouldn't do this. Why you probably don't want this. The way that we do this is like by pushing away the people that are really cut out for this actually want it more. And that helps us as a business make sure that we're only working with people that come in with like the right expectations. A lot of these other businesses, they work with anybody that has money. We only want to work with people that know exactly what they're getting into. One, when they work with us, but then also when they get into this industry. It's all about expectation setting. And I think that's why we have really great results and why we have a good reputation. If I keep saying this, it's gonna happen, but like if you go to Reddit, if you go to review sites and you look us up, like there's no negative reviews. If you're charging people a lot of money and not getting results and they're getting pissed off, there will be negative reviews. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you want to see more of. We have another interview coming out next week with Noah, who did 14.8K as an appointment setter. And that comes out the day before our meetup. It's almost about that time, you guys. High ticket sales meetup, Austin, Texas, September 26th, 27th. We got like 130 people coming down. Tickets are below. We'll see you there, and I'll see you next week.